it, here's our 60-second loom structure to land high-ticket sales roles within 1 to 4 weeks. There's the same loom SOP that we give to our students inside of a training program, Real Sales System. Like Joshua, who landed 2 high-ticket sales roles in his first week in the program. Prior to that, he was brand new to high-ticket sales. He was knocking on doors, trying to sell roofs, making decent money, but being away from his family, not being able to make the money that he truly wants. Joshua made $12K in commissions last month after being 4 months in high-ticket sales. Or Owen, who landed an offer within 2 weeks in the program. Prior to that, he had 0 sales experience, period. He was doing manual labor in an oil rig, making good money, sure, but being away from his family for months at a time. Owen made $28K a month in commissions in his pocket on his 7th month in high-ticket sales. Obviously, I can't share everything in a free YouTube video, but I'll share some of the SOP so you can land roles yourself as well. So this is inside of our training platform, Real Sales System. I'm not gonna show you everything, but I'll walk you through some of it. First thing, we want the loom to be at 60 seconds or less. The reason why is because I've seen, and mind you, I have students and friends that are sales managers and recruiters, and I've looked at intro loom videos myself to place and manage sales reps. And if the loom video is longer than 60 seconds, dude, these days people, their attention span is so low. You yourself as well, myself included. And guess what? Guess what sales managers and business owners are? Busy. So if it's longer than 60 seconds, guess what? They're like, oh, f this, I gotta look at this. And they're not gonna look at it. So 60 seconds or less. That way, if they put in 1.5x speed, they can get it through in 30 to 45 seconds. First and foremost, make sure that we have good lighting and the audio is good. Okay? Because if the audio is good, if the background's bad, if you have your bed in the background in the intro loom video, no bueno, because you just look like you're in your mom's basement. Even if you're at your mom's basement, we don't want to show them that, right? The hook is the most important. What the hook is, the very beginning of the intro loom video, okay? The first 7 seconds. So the reason why the hook, the beginning of the first second is the most important is because there is where they'll determine if they're going to keep watching the thing or not. Imagine the first 7 seconds of this YouTube video, I try to do a pattern intro. I try to catch your attention, right? I said, it, right? A bit crass, a bit graphic to try to capture your attention. That way you stay on for the rest of the video. That way you can go and land roles yourself and make more money, provide a better life for your family, right? So in the first 7 seconds, we either start with your results / track records, okay? If you don't have that, then we want to do something called a pattern interrupt, okay? So if you have some track record going on, whether, and you might be coming from different experiences, right? You may already be in high ticket sales, maybe you've been in a few offers, you have some track record you can show them, maybe you've been a top setter, maybe you've been a top closer, or maybe some cash you've collected, or maybe some sales forms you can show them, something, right? Something you can show them, you can show them on the screen. Right? What I would do is I'll start the loom video with sharing a screen and show the screenshots on like a mirror board or Google Doc or something. Because everybody can make promises, right? Everybody can say, oh, I'm a top closer, I'll make you a lot of money. It's empty promises, right? People want to see proof. So what's a better proof? By showing them the fucking sales form or you being at the top of the leaderboard. Just blur out everybody else's names, right? Or blur out company or client sensitive information. Just blur that out, start there. Right? Or cash you've collected. You start there. And you may say something like, John, I've done 2 million in cash collected. I was a top producer at XYZ company. That would be the hook. And then we'll go to the next thing. Because when most people do a loom video, they'll say like, hey John, so good to meet you. I've been following you for a while. I've been in high ticket sales for 2 years. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Again, I'm not trying to make fun of you. It's just that I'm trying to help you, right? Hiring managers, sales managers, they don't give a fuck how many years you've been in high ticket sales. If you've been following them for a while, they don't really give a fuck. Guess what the number one thing they give a fuck about is? What can you do for us? Can you make us more money or not? Not just you saying it, but can you show me, right? And what better way than showing the track record? So that is the best way. Now, you may say, well, Brian, I'm not in high ticket sales yet. Okay, well, have you been in other sales industries? Can we leverage that? So we've had, like Joshua as an example, we could leverage him being in door-to-door sales, right? Him putting through deals. He was one of the top reps on his company, I believe. So he could show that, right? We've had other reps that come from corporate sales or insurance, things like that. They could show them, these companies, the track record in those industries. It's something, it's better than nothing, right? So you can say like, John, I've been a top rep at my company out of X amount of reps, da 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 da. I've hit 200% quota, whatever. You're showing them, it's like, oh, okay, I'm listening. So now we get the ball rolling. Now, you may be saying that, but Brian, I haven't done sales in my life. That's fine. We've had students come from 0 sales experience, like Owen as an example. So what do? We use something called a pattern interrupt. What is a pattern interrupt? Pattern interrupt is, oh, that is a pattern interrupt. Why is that a pattern interrupt? Because I interrupted the pattern. I was talking and I was like, oh, what happened there? So there's different things we can do, right? So Owen as an example, what we did was he worked in the oil rig doing manual labor. So in some of the intro loom videos, what we did was he showed his dirty ass jacket of him working in the construction site or oil rig, right? So, because what offer runners or hiring managers or recruiters, what they expect when they open a loom video is like some guy sitting down and like talking. It's like, hi, so-and-so, I've been following you for a while. I've been in high ticket sales for this many long, right? It goes over their head. It's like, boring. But when we start, there isn't a person, but there's a dirty ass jacket. They're like, what the fuck is that? He'll start here and be like, John, my name's Owen. So I've been doing manual labor for 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm a hard worker. And the reason I'm saying that is because coming into sales, talking to people is way easier than that. I have the dog in me. I have the work ethic. So I can dial your leads more than anybody else because I'm working 16 hours a day doing manual labor right now. So we start off with that. I'm literally giving you some of the word for word right? I know some of you lazy fuckers will go copy this and just say word for word, whatever. And then everybody else will do it. Now it gets saturated. It won't be as effective anymore. The most important part is the people who are watching this who are critical thinkers, they're the one they're gonna succeed. They're the ones who are gonna get in the best offers and cut through the noise because they understand principles. 90 to 99% of people, they're gonna be lazy. They're gonna be like, oh, let me just copy that. You're gonna get left behind because things change all the time, especially in this industry. Things change, things move fast. So what's working right now is probably not gonna work maybe 6 months from now. And only the people who are on the inside, only the people who are understanding the principles up to date are be the ones, they're gonna be the ones getting on the best offers and actually making the money more than me. Speaking of which, that's what we help our students do instead of a training program, real sales system. If you want me to personally help you, how can we structure a Loom video for your specific background and your experiences and me giving you feedback? Because you may think that it's good, but maybe in reality, and you're wasting months of your life not being able to get on offers. That's what we help students do, okay? Whether you're in high ticket sales right now, whether you're in door-to-door sales, whatever, whether you have zero sales experience, no income guarantees, okay? If you want a cushy guarantee, I suggest you go flip burgers at Burger King instead. I heard they give you a guarantee that you're gonna make 2K a month, every month. Okay? But if you're a hardworking individual, you're intelligent, you're a great executor, you can go to the first link in the description box right after this video. You can apply for Real Sales System. You can see a demo and be able to schedule a consultation call if you're eligible. Back to this. So again, the principle behind that is, what the f can you do for me or interrupt the pattern? After that, if you don't have track record, you can show them our character, right? That's what we did with Owen's case, right? We also had another student who was an athlete. So we used that. He was like a top performer on a sports team. We used that. Like, I'm sure you have something in your background, right? Just use that. Use your unfair advantages. Use the cards that you were dealt with. Not everybody's dealt with the same cards, right? So let's use that. Again, I'm not gonna go into the whole thing. But essentially the character, what do salesmen, if you're a sales manager, right? Or if you're the business owner, what would you want from a sales rep? Well, you want somebody that's really hardworking. You want somebody that's coachable, that doesn't have too much of an ego, and who's intelligent, follows instructions. That's what you'd want, right? And who doesn't need babysitting. So what do? We tell them that, but also we wanna back that up. How do we back that up? There's different things, right? Ideal, there's proofs you can show them, and you can add details. You can tell stories and whatnot. So again, in Owen's case, we demonstrated his character, right? It's like, hey, I work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week right now in an oil rig, working constructions. Talking to people is not a big deal. If you've been like a customer support rep, you can mention that, yeah, I was talking to people all day. So, you know, I'm coachable. You know what I'm saying? So we mentioned things like that. We can also mention things that we saw on their specific business. So we can mention things like, hey, I saw that you guys help with Christian entrepreneurs. I'm a Christian myself. Maybe you have a cross in the background. Maybe you have like a cross necklace, right? So what does that do is obviously businesses want more of a culture fit, right? The biggest thing they want is obviously track record and their competency of a sales rep. And the next thing is going to be their character. And also they want some culture fit going on, right? And you see that, okay, this guy did their homework. Because what most people do when they're applying and sending out Loom videos, the same cookie cutter Loom video they send out to 50 other people. They can say that, they can tell it's generic, it's whatever, right? But when we show them that, okay, I've done homework on your business, it's like, oh, this guy's actually resourceful. This guy's already demonstrating competency even before he got the role, even before he got on the interview. Hey, I saw that your guys' mission is XYZ. I saw your guys' mission is to, I'm gonna make something up, make real business education available for everybody. Well, I really believe in that because my father's an entrepreneur and it really changed his life and yada, yada, yada. Things like that, right? So that, this guy did his homework. So you're not just saying that I've been following so-and-so for a while. It's like everybody can say that. And I know you're capping because you're not adding details to it. The devil's in the details. Whenever we make a claim, we want to back it up with proof. If not, add some details to it, as long as it's true, obviously, right? And then the last one, we do want to do a CTA. Okay, you'll see me do a CTA at the end of the YouTube video. I'll say, if you're eligible, if you're qualified, you can book a call for a Real Sales System, right? You can apply for it. That's what a CTA is, call to action. What's the next step, right? So from here, we can set some time aside to chat and see if he would be a good fit for each other. Let me know what days and times work best with you and we can find a time. Very concise, to the point, right? Next steps, what can we do from here? Let me know the best times, best days. Let's go from here. You know what I'm saying? So you're moving the ball along instead of just being like, yeah, let me know. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be LDS. We don't want to be Olympic. We want to just keep them moving the ball along. And again, we want to keep this 60 seconds or less. Like I mentioned, good background, move your webcam around. Make sure you have good camera quality, right? It doesn't need to be something crazy camera quality, but at least something bright, right? They can see your face clearly, not too bright to the point where you look like, you know, you're coming from heaven. They can see your face clearly. Make sure you get a haircut. Make sure you look professionally. Don't wear a f***ing hoodie, for God's sake, right? We'd rather overdress than underdress. Don't wear a hoodie, t-shirt, polo shirt, dress shirt, those are fine. And the audio quality is good. Make sure you listen back to your Loom video. Because sometimes I listen back at a Loom video, the audio quality is terrible, or maybe the audio didn't record. And you would have just known that if it took 3 seconds to look back at your Loom video. That's all it takes, right? So make sure you do that. Send it to them. So again, I can't go into all the details. There's a lot of other things that work into play in terms of the Loom video, getting the Loom video open in the first place, finding the right people in the business to send the Loom video in the first place, how to stand out. So if you want help with that, that's what we help our students do inside of our training program, Real Sales System. So if you want to get to 10K, 20K, 30K a month in commissions in high ticket sales, and you want to provide the best life possible for yourself and the people you care about, again, no income guarantees. If you want a guarantee, you can go get a corporate job or a 9-to-5 job. You can go work at Burger King. But if you're a hardworking individual who takes full responsibility for himself, you can go to the first link in the description box below to see a demo of a training program, Real Sales System. If you're eligible, you'll be able to schedule a consultation call. I'll see you there.